So now we see another park, an Indian park, colonial British India. And one of the guests tries to get with another one of the guests. And she's up for it. After she shoot him to make sure she ain't a robot, she wants some of that human penis. You know what? I want to know, where is Fame Westworld, Hollywood World, Storybook World? These narratives are a yawn. And Angela yawn. So they decide to go to breakfast post-coitus, and that's when the hosts in this park go haywire. But this heifer is scrappy. She survives the host and a tiger attack. She is running too. I mean, to do all that running, get away, and then turn up and see a damn Bengal tiger. I couldn't. And then she gets to the ocean between their world and Westworld. And over the cliff they go. So the recon team meets with quality control and lets them know it's a slaughterhouse in the lab. They still haven't found the specific host that they're looking for. It's Peter Abernathy. So Tessa and Bernard spot Abernathy and cook up a scheme to steal him away. Somehow Abernathy has gotten held up with all the other hosts. Oh, they porting into one of the hosts to get him on their side. Oh, and right when they get set free, the Confederales roll up. Oh, God, but Abernathy having issues. Again, that CPU Parkinson's. He getting everybody captured. So Tessa gets away on a horse, but Bernard is captured. Meanwhile, Abernathy's brain is just scrambled. So DeLolo know quality control is coming in, and she hooks up with some other hosts to make a last stand, so she can use Fort Forlorn Hope. While across the park, Maeve's group gets captured by the Native Americans. So Wyatt finds Abernathy, who's also her father, and she sees that his brain is addled and it upsets her. And she also gives some good I don't know her to Bernard. This is a slow-ass episode. This was a little rough to get through. So Wyatt tells Bernard, look, I want to take over the world. And Bernard's like, yeah, I know you got a little memory of the other city and stuff, but you don't really understand it. Things don't work that way. And you ain't even a people. So Maeve had a meeting with the head Native American guy, and he lets them go on their way. They get back into the lab. The snake-faced heifer leads Maeve's group to some more scientists, the ones from last season. And they take the elevator up back to the park. Tessa finally runs into QA. So QA attacks Fort Forlorn Hope, and they get Abernathy. And Wyatt double crosses the Fort Forlorn crew. Wyatt tries to stop him, but she's too late. Child, Wyatt left the Fort Forlorn Hope people outside to die. So Bernard is able to get away in the chaos, but he getting to shimmying and shaking again. So as Bernard shimmy and shakes, Clementine's about to put him out of his misery, but she stops and drags his ass on somewhere. And one of the Fort Forlorn Hope men gets into a conversation with James Marsden, and he says, you may be following around that desert flower, but you don't know what you want. And so James doesn't offer him. Meanwhile, Wyatt's sneaking and watching his ass disobey. I wonder if there'll be a consequence or a repercussion. Oh, he letting them all go. So this episode really gives us the bullshit. We opening up with an apartment, it seems like. There's a Beatles record playing, and it's the old Delos guy. And we see him just living in this apartment for a couple of days, time-lapse montage. Oh, and now we see he's got some faculty issues, spilling cream and whatnot. Oh, he made a big-ass mess. And now in walks Jimmy Simpson. So Jimmy gives him a cognitive interview. And the scene ends with Jimmy handing him a paper, and then we flash forward to Jimmy as Ed Harris. So him and his friend is out wandering the desert, and they happen upon some more people. I wouldn't just be running up to people right now. People seem real murder happy. Oh, it's people building a railroad, and they using other bodies as railroad ties. I'm getting out of there. Now we see where Clementine is dragging Bernard to a cave. She unties him and walks off. He asking her, where are we, like she his friend. You better shut up. Oh, it's that heifer that disappeared last season. Elle. So she upset with him for putting her in this cave, and he like, I was under Ford's command to do that, and now the hosts have no safeguards. It's just the wild, wild west out there for real. He tries to walk after her, but he got that, CPU Parkinson's with the shimmy and the shake. Oh, she finding out that he a robot now. She was like, you rotated out and everything. So she's able to patch him up a bit, but he gonna need some cortical fluid. Elsie think the cavalry coming. Bernard gotta tell her, that ain't gonna happen either. Oh, Bernard having a flashback. He sees himself heading in that cave. And so this leads Bernard to remembering where his secret door is. Even Elsie didn't know where it was, and she's been there forever. Elle walking around like Annie Oakley with this shotgun in here. Yeah, honey, it's a whole secret lab. Oh, and there are bodies just strewn about, still moist. So this massacre must have just gone down. And now Bernard flashes back to when this shit happened. Oh no, one of the drones is gonna get this girl. He told her not to threaten it. Oh, well, she shot it. That took care of that. So this is the guest watching center. Now she going to help him get some cortical fluid. Yeah, he getting to shimmying and shaking something fierce. Why would they be programmed to feel pain during a medical procedure? I mean, I can see getting shot or something, but a medical procedure? So we see the Native Americans done got a bunch of guests. Now we got Ed Harris and his friend, and they pull up somewhere. Lawrence is not pleased to be back home. Lord, now Ed gonna get mad at the bartender for spilling his drink. Oh, now everybody got guns on them. So now they captured again. So come to find out, it's one of the captains that James Marsden let go from Fort Forlorn Hope, and then kidnapped everybody in town, are holding them up for supplies. How the mayor got up to speak for the people, and they shot his ass right down, literally. So Ed go on and tell everybody where the weapons is. Okay, now we back to this damn apartment. And we go through similar motions to what we went through the last time. Except this time he don't make a mess with the cream in his coffee. And in walks Jimmy Simpson again. So we got the same ass conversation. And so Delos don't believe it, but then Jimmy hand him the piece of paper again, and it's their conversation. So Jimmy let him know his wife dead, and that get his knee to shaking. These robots got that Parkinson's. Shimmy to the left, then they shimmy to the right. Just shimmy to the left, then they shimmy to the right. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. I'm sick of it. Ha! He said get some fresh aid. Oh yeah, he's struggling. Yeah, don't let his ass out. Oh, and then they gonna terminate his ass since he ain't that functional. Oh my goodness, they burned up the whole apartment. Was it that necessary? So back with Ed Harris, we see the leader of Fort Forlorn Hope fucking around with the shaky-handed bartender. He gonna put some nitro in his glass and tell him, walk around with this, Mr. Shimmy. See, again, more shimmies and more shakes. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. Every time somebody shimmy, we shimmy. That's the new Westworld game. Every time somebody get to shimmying and shaking, we get to shimmying and shaking. Give him that shoulder. Give him that shoulder. Give him that shoulder. Give him that shoulder. Walking with the glass. Give him that shoulder. Walking with the glass. Give him that shoulder. 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 He like, ooh, I did it. I did it. Oh, God. He done blown his whole arm off. That was not necessary. You could have just given him a little shoulder. Ed seemed disappointed. Okay, now we got the Native Americans running around with torches. Some type of ceremonies afoot. They gotta stop filming this shit so dark that you gotta turn off all your lights. I need y'all to be able to see me, so I gotta have on bright lights, which means I can't see the damn TV. So now they're at their leader, and he gonna decide whether these guests get it or get free. Child, that one heifer done ran off, the one from the Indian park. And so the Native Americans, I guess, let everybody go. And they whispered to the one QA guy, you only live as long as the last person who remembers you. Back to Bernard in the lab. I guess he done got that little bit of fluid. She don't trust him, but she fixed him. because she might need his ass. So we now find out this lab has ties to Abernathy and is written in a totally different code. And Bernard's starting to have a Celine Dion, it's all coming back to me now moment. So Elsie and Bernard are kind of trying to figure out what they was making in this lab. And suddenly they hear something banging behind door number 1, and Elsie curious ass head on over, and Bernard's like, I don't think you should do that, but you know her hard-headed ass. And now he realizing this shit's a flashback too. They mind fucking us today. That hour and 15-minute episode. So Ed Harris has come back to face off against the heifer of Forlorn Hope. And the Forlorn Hope heifer starts talking about how death won't claim his ass, blah, blah, blah. I mean, he is going on and on and on. And then Ed Harris hit him with the truth. You don't know shit, and I killed you. Oh, God. So now we back at Delos' house. Oh, my goodness. Jimmy Simpson done got Ed Harris's age, and they still ain't got Delos out of this damn apartment. Oh, my God. They brought his ass back 149 times, and he's only on day 35, and he's still falling apart, shimmying and shaking. Give him that shoulder, give him that shoulder, give him that shoulder, give him that shoulder. Huh. Ed said, you know what, I might have been pissing your money away. I think this is some bullshit. Where's Todd at? He said people didn't like you no way. Child, he told him his daughters did too. He said the world is better off without you, Delos. Delos acting like he want to whoop his ass. With a shimmy and a shake. With a shimmy and a shake. And then he gonna tell you Logan did too. He overdosed. Now, he says he couldn't face reality, but I wonder what reality that is. And Ed says, don't burn him up. Let him deteriorate. He giving that shimmy and that shake. That shimmy and that shake. So now flashback to Bernard and Elsie. And they're walking in to Delos' apartment area. So Elsie got to put the Delos clone down. So Elsie and Bernard walk out of Delos' chambers and they realize he dead. And they printed his mind and put it in a host body designed to look like him. So she gonna go to stop him from this bullshit. And Bernard says, wait, let me come with you. I can help. And she like, you a machine, but I'ma trust you. So she says, promise me no more lies. And then, of course, he has a flashback to murdering all the scientists that were in the room that they were just in. But he ain't gonna tell her that. So we already starting off on the good foot. So now we got Ed Harris getting a thank you from his friend's wife that he saved from the Forlorn Hope heifers. And now the daughter know who William is. She on that secret game shit. He said, honey, that wasn't a good deed. That was me playing your game. And she says, heifer, you still don't get it. And you're looking in the wrong place. Oh, God. So the heifer from the Indian Park runs into Ed Harris, and that's her pappy. And that's her pappy, and that's where the shit ends. So let's get right into the next one. Episode 5. So we open at the lab, and they're getting all the old host bodies together. So they're going through the host brains, and they see that a third of them have been wiped completely clean, as if they never held data to begin with. So now back in Shogun Land, they're getting attacked and captured yet again by samurai. So one of the scientists explains to Maeve, your Control-Alt-Delete commands didn't work because you didn't speak Japanese. When in Rome, speak as the Romans speak. And so the Shogun parades them through the town, and they realize this is just like Sweetwater. Same narrative, dish, and nationality. All right, now we got a full-on brawl. So Maeve's group realizes they've been captured by their own doppelgangers. Well, except for the scientist. This geisha is giving Maeve's lines to a T. So the snake heifer helped the dragon heifer, and that gets them free. So now Maeve is speaking perfect Japanese and everybody's listening. They look at each other like they really are recognizing each other. It's very people. Okay, now we back in Westworld. So Wyatt and James Marsden are getting supplies in Sweetwater. But Wyatt's looking for something too. Or someone. Oh, she want to get her daddy back. You ain't going to be able to fix him. Back in Japan, Maeve's group realizes they have to be patient and play the game. Because Maeve want to get to the shit and get moving. So the scientist is like, look, we do have to get out of here because these doppelgangers going to fuck with y'all's cognition. You're going to end up with that CPU aphasia. So there's a shogun who wants to acquire Sakura permanently. So the madam says, she ain't for sale. Oh, shit. Child, that geisha stabbed that man dead in his eye. Girl, they turned and had a little conference and she turned back around. Here is my price. Bow. Oh, she's going off script. They like, you know what? We gonna get the fuck up out of here. So they gonna head to Snow Lake. Oh, and it has an access point back to the tunnels. Okay. All right. Okay, this scientist is really helping. So Snow Lake is everybody's way out. Maeve's way back to the tunnels and their way to end their little narrative. And they just gonna leave that body there stankin'. So we see that Maeve loves her daughter like this geisha loves Sakura. Oh, they sent a ninja. Oh shit, they did not get out of the house fast enough. It's a bunch of ninjas. Damn it, I wish it wasn't so dark so we could see more. So right when Maeve starts shouting commands, they get her by the throat. This is some House of the Blue Leaves shit. Maeve getting choked out. But then she realized she got telekinesis. Or rather, she can use the, I guess that host network to tap into other people. The Fringe network or whatever. You know what it is, the network that the hosts use to contact each other. Oh God, now samurai are chanting. This is not good. So now we got a showdown with the Shogun, and they called him a puckered asshole. Okay, Maeve, I'm gonna need you to do your thing before people get their ass whooped. Okay, so then everybody just stopped, and we see Maeve kind of run off. Now back in Westworld, Wyatt and James Marsden are riding around. Lord, Westworld ugly. James Marsden is like, fuck this fight. I want to spot in the beauty. Oh, so now we got a whole herd and fly and disease analogy. Basically, James Marsden was like, I'd hide my herd from the flies. And Wyatt's like, fuck that. You burn the dead cows and piss the flies off so they don't come around no more. I get it. They went the long way around with that one. That was a little too Wild Wild West. It was like a St. Olaf story. I mean, y'all know you're robots now. Why not get on your beep, beep, bop, bop? So now Maeve and the scientist is going at it. And she like, look, we just as human as you. And he's like, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. Uh-oh. The scientist done stole a radio. Lord. Fat meat greasy, honey. Fat meat greasy. So they have an audience with the Shogun and they give him a gold statue. Oh, he throw the statue. He ain't pleased. Uh-oh. Is he getting the Parkinson's? Shoulder shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Yep, cortical fluid. Cortical fluid, shimmy. Oh, shimmy, 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 shimmy. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. So he went from killing them to welcoming them. Oh, so he done put shit in everybody's ears so nobody can hear her ass. Oh, no, he done snatched ears. He done snatched everybody's ear. Oh, my God. Honey, a little cleaner. Lord, you know them wounds is stankin'. And then how the fuck are they going to hear each other? Like a deaf army. That ain't real useful. Oh, Lord. Girl, that's cutting off your ears despite your head. Oh, my God. I was like, they put something in their ears. You know, some earplugs. Nope. Earless. So now he start yelling at the madam. And she says, even dragons conduct business. I'll give you whatever you want, but give me my heifer back. Oh, Lord, Sakura looks terrible. Why you gonna get a pretty girl like that and then have her looking that bad? So he tells her, look, if you dance with Sakura, she's yours. I don't know what dance means, but I guess girl. Or it probably means he gonna kill them both at the end. All right, Maeve, do your thing, girl. Do your thing. Get your kinesis on. So they catch one of the QA people, and they get out of him that the Mesa is where they're keeping Wyatt's daddy. Oh, Lord, they get to fucking James Marsden and what's her name? Wyatt. I don't want to see robots fucking, and it's too dark. Unless we're going to see James Marsden's penis, you can keep that. Oh, Lord, they done tattooed Sakura. So Maeve invite these Shogun heifers to the new world. Slowly letting them know, girl, you a robot. But the madam's like, nah, I'm going to stay with Sakura. We just gonna pop puss over here. Like we been doing. Oh, God, what do you have to show James Marsden? Come on, Wyatt, out with it. And she's like, I don't know if I love you or if I was programmed to love you. But no, I love you. I love you. Why do I feel a plot twist coming on? Yup. It's a plot twist. She burning his ass. Because he ain't one of her. Oh, instead of burning him, she got the scientist fucking with his mind. Okay, so now we're at the dance with the Shogun. And right before the girls start, he notices something's missing. Oh, God, he killed Sakura. He stabbed her. So he said, now she's hers. Oh, and she got stabbed just like Maeve did in her narrative. Ooh, I felt that. They robots, but I felt it. So now he tell the madam to get to dancing. The madam is not pleased. She's snapping, but she dances anyway. Work, girl! Work! Yeah, work the runway. And pose. And pose. Kabuki for your life. Ah! And she stabbed his ass. She got him all up in the throttle. Ha ha ha! Oh, God, we got some outrageous gore. God, now Maeve captured again. You better get that psychic shit. They both about to get their heads cut off. Come on. Hands together. The power of 3 will set us free. The power of 3 will set us free. There you go. There you go. Get mental with it. So now they got all the samurai fighting each other. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. If y'all realize you robots and you got that scientist with you, why don't you just try to reboot the dead heifer, Sakura? You know, patch her up with some silicone and super glue. Oh, Lord, a whole nother army is coming. But Maeve is like, oh, honey, I got the mesh network, a biffa ready. And that's where the episode ends. Sound test, 1 2 1 2. Sound test 1 2 1 2. Boom, 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 boom. So the episode opens with Bernard saying, I'm scared of what you gonna turn into when you get sentient. And you're gonna end up sentient. Oh, now Dolores freezing Bernard. Oh, we see some changes are coming with James Marsden too. He just shooting people now. All right, so now we got Tessa, Abernathy, and one of QA. So Tessa's finally able to call for help now that they got Abernathy. Uh-oh, Abernathy breaking free. They bolted his ass to the chair. Again, I don't know why they're programmed to feel that much pain. It just wouldn't seem necessary. Like, are people in the park to torture them? It's like, okay, an ow and ooch, like, that's all that's really necessary. Meanwhile, back in Japan, oh, Lord. Now this heifer killing herself. The Japanese madam, the geisha. Well, damn. Wait, what the hell is going on? Did she cut a fetus out of somebody? Wait a minute, somebody pregnant? How the hell a robot pregnant? What is this? I thought the heifer done stabbed herself. Lord, let me rewatch. Oh no, she stabbed the dead girl. Did she cut a baby out of the dead girl? I thought she stabbed herself. I am so confused. Because I don't know how the fuck a robot would get pregnant. Ooh, Maeve got the power now, honey. She don't have to lift a finger. Mesh network. So they was gonna make a trade. But instead, the Japanese version of Maeve's love interest decides to do a duel with the Shogun. Skirmish! Skirmish. A sword skirmish. Well, he did. That duel did not go well. I mean, it went well for, our team, Maeve's team, but the Shogun lost. Meanwhile, back in Westworld, we got Ed and his daughter. Oh, he think his daughter's a host. She like, honey, I'm real. But is she? Is she? I don't know if I trust it. I mean, she ain't that pretty, so she probably real. Cause the host look better. So now we got Bernard and Elsie, Elise, whatever her name is. Bernard says he got faith in the heifer, and now they at the welcome center. Everybody dead. So apparently there's something called the cradle, which is the host backup. So maybe that's like the host collective conscious. And it's fucking with the system and blocking all of QA's attempts to get things fixed. And so, of course, they got to go somewhere else to fix the shit. Now back to Maeve's group in Shogun, Japan. They're walking through a bamboo forest. This is big bamboo, too. Oh, they made it to the lake. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. They must have gone to Japan to film this shit. Oh, my God. This is beautiful. Wow. Now, you see, that's production. That's production value. Oh, and they made it to the elevator, but there's a whole bunch of dead people on it. So the elevator wasn't working. They had to slide down the body chute. And, of course, everybody dead in there, too. Koi pond. Oh, maybe she cut out her heart. These robots got all kind of emotion. So the Shogun people gonna stay in Mirror Lake. Back in Westworld, we have father and daughter talking about old times and old hurts. So she has to tell her pappy, you know what, I blamed you for mama's death, and that wasn't right. That just wasn't right. So Ed Harris say he gonna go back with his daughter, but I don't know if I buy it. He left her ass. So Bernard and Elsie make it to the cradle, which is a big server room. So Bernard having flashbacks to when he stole that ball out of that lab room. Okay, so Bernard said, put me in the system. So Bernard gets hooked up to the machine and they put his brain ball in it. The machine gives me some Rube Goldberg tease. And he going back in time to figure out what the fuck happened. So now Maeve's team done made it to Westworld. Popping up out of graves and shit. And Maeve tells the little scientist, yeah, you did all right with this one, but don't get a big head, heifer. I got a feeling Maeve gonna end up dying too. All right, now Ed Harris's group is getting attacked. But I don't know by who. I guess some kind of host. Maeve running down the hill looking for her baby, and I don't know, that baby might have gotten reassigned. Oh, she done found her daughter. Oh, this heifer got a new mama. Yep, there's a different version of you. And that half about to get stabbed. What's Maeve gonna do? Is she gonna bring them both? She gonna get to that mesh network. Why are you running? You got the mesh network. Child, she grabbed her daughter and let the other and let her other version get killed. She like, honey, if you ain't got that mesh magic, I can't help you. So now you're gonna have a traumatized child. Lord, this show is a hot ass mess. Maeve, you better get to that oh Lord, slipping and falling. Oh, the Native Americans are like, no, come with us. We're on the same path. Maeve speaking in their native tongue like, honey, I don't want to roll with you. And now we got a skirmish. Meanwhile, we got all three of the scientists together and one of them calling for help. Oh, and they like, look, these machines can fuck around and get killed and be brought back to life. We mortal. We mortal. We have one life to live as the world turns. And he ain't even had all his children yet. See what I did there? You see what I did there? You see it? So before they have to get brought to a general hospital, he wants to get the fuck out. Meanwhile, on the other side of Westworld, we got Wyatt, James, Marston, and the other heifer on a train to the Mesa. Now, James is giving one of the scientists a gun, and I want to know why. And one bullet. Oh, he telling him to kill himself. Oh, they letting his rail car go. I honestly think you might not die. I'd jump out of that motherfucker with a tuck and roll first. I mean, that was a glass door. I would have gotten out of sight and been like, okay, now how can I get out of this fix? And hell, the train car would probably slow down eventually on its own. So they see the train coming, ooh, and it's heading right for the lab. And we end the episode with Bernard remembering running into Anthony Hopkins again, and that's where the shit ends. All right, I'm going to see you in a few hours for the next episode. Alright, so I'm finally going to be caught up with Westworld, and hopefully I can get this video to y'all today. You seen it's taking me like a week. I've gone through 8 different shirts in this video. So we open the episode with QA talking to Bernard about this new team that's come in. They don't seem to be concerned about the people, only the project. So they're going to try to get to a secret phone to call for help. So they think one of the QA people done stolen the key. And there's apparently an unsolved murder afoot as well. I don't even remember this dead heifer. And the QA guy is like, I've never been here, didn't kill her. But now Bernard's remembering murdering the heifer. Oh, Lord, they done found all of Bernard's old bodies. Girl, they know your tea. Your tea. You have been fooled, Tessa Thompson. You've been fooled all this time. And Bernard just standing there looking embarrassed. Don't look at naked me. So the hosts are advancing on the lab, while Tessa's trying to get that shit out of Abernathy's head. Lord, the host done dressed up like QA. They smart, I'll give them that. Now the QA guy asking Tessa Thompson, what is in this control unit that we're willing to damn near die for it? So now we got Bernard going through his memories, and lo and behold, it's Heifer Hopkins. So Heifer Hopkins tells Bernard, the hosts are on a loop because they're testing our fidelity. It's not for the good of their own. This is all about being able to copy people and turn them into hosts or robots or whatever, you know, so people can keep living. But is that really you? Like, I don't know. Like, my issue with this is if I'm dead, I died. Like, that's it. There's no more. Like, even if you... Are you saying basically that my brain gets restarted? Like, I'm confused because if it's a machine that thinks it's me, it still ain't me. Like, unless you take the actual tissue, like, you can take my memories and shit, but that ain't me. It's a part of me, but it's not me. It's not my spirit. It's just my memories. It's not my future or my present. It's the past. Now we got Maeve and her daughter. So now we got Maeve up against Ed Harris, and she says, well, you know what, Heifer, you murdered me once, but not again. Not only did she shoot at him, she was using her meshwork mental powers to get the other host to attack his heffing ass too. Oh, but here comes Ed Harris's trusty sidekick. Can Maeve get him to turn? But that trusty sidekick gets to remember, and wait a minute, Ed Harris, you ain't shit. You killed my wife and my daughter and then brought us back and did it again. And he shot his ass. But oh, here comes QA. Maeve don't get her daughter, but she does get a belly full of lead. But they save her. The scientist saves her. He's like, we need her ass. She got that mesh network magic. Meanwhile, back in the lab, those QA teams are failing. The cyborgs are taking over. Back in Westworld, Anthony Hopkins is still bumping his gums to Bernard, showing him the house that he was supposed to be living in. So back in the lab, the QA guy has had it with Charlotte Hale's secrecy, and he's like, look, I'ma blow his head off, or you gonna tell me what's in it. But before he can get the tea, in walks Wyatt, and the bullshit. And all of a sudden, Heifer Hale is no longer the HBIC. I'm surprised she ain't have no more fight in her. She just let old Wyatt punk her ass. You come at me with a bone saw, I'm gonna fight you with everything I got. And Charlotte, all that, I want to celebrate that. Honey, you are not Oprah interviewing Lindsay Lohan. And Wyatt is not here for your bullshit. So Charlotte thought they wanted to come and steal their backups, but they want to come and destroy them. I wouldn't want their memories either. So Charlotte Hale and the QA guy escaped the melee, but them backups is blown up. So apparently this was all a scheme Anthony Hopkins cooked up to bring us the bullshit, talking about creating the perfect world and striking a match. Fuck that. And so Wyatt and Maeve run into each other again, and Wyatt's like, Heifer, you laid up, how'd you get here? Maeve said, well, you know, I was trying to find my baby, and Wyatt's like, girl, I tried to tell you. That child ain't no kith and kin to you. You need to let it go. Let it go. This world don't want you no more. You know what? I'll give it to that little scientist that be fucking with Maeve. His ass be staying alive. And we close the episode out with Arnold trying to sort through which memories are real and which are machine, because he was apparently alive at one point. So Bernard finally tells him where Abernathy Control Unit is. And I guess that's where the Valley Beyond is. But I think Bernard is becoming sentient, and that's where the shit ends. So I'm going to see you soon. Tell a kin, tell a friend, tell that heifer you hate.